Did you know that whilst the kernel cannot be buttered up, the kernel can be put through 7 rounds of loads of variance ops? So let's get started with the buttery corn. So he can be buttered up then. When do the lies stop, Dave? This is why I always sided with Zombos. If your butter is covered in leopard spots and a banana peel, then maybe you should just swap to margarine. So, buttery corn.
4 damage!
Literally just decided to put Founders Edition corn into the game.
But don't worry, because if you shoot someone enough, you can coat them in piss,
which makes them take more damage. So you have to continuously shoot someone for an extended period of time to deal less damage than the base corn deals normally. I guess you could use this to support your teammates, but like, my teammates are 3 barely functional AI bots that dawdle around the map like a lost old man that escaped the care home. So we go to Frontline Flats, where I stare at a perfume shroom for a solid 5 seconds. Maybe the glistening of its pink cap reminded myself of the light I once had in my eyes in my younger days. Then I see a crown coat, panic, spam all of my abilities, and I don't deal a single point of damage to it with either of them. Wave 4 spawns ice characters! Wave 5, and what if instead of Baron von Betz, he was called Baron von Slats, and he made bed frames? I might be running out of things to say about this game mode. We deploy drone strikes onto him, and he dies. Part-time goat. Can't relate to that. The next moderately interesting thing that happens is this guy who does a happy little jig on the corpse of this other buttery corn, and then I throw a potato at a vase. Real intriguing stuff going on this time. But uh-oh, reinforcement spawn. You know what that means? Nothing, because the wave is pretty easy. Buttery Corn's primary might be abysmal, but the good thing about Kernel Corn is that no matter how bad his primary is, he always has 3 of the I'm going to fucking kill you buttons that he uses to fucking kill you. Super Boss Wave. What if instead of Baron von Betz, he was called Baron von Flats, and he rented rooms to people at an extortionate price? Anyway, turns out having 4 corns that could all just slap the boss about with drone strikes, rockets to the face, and whatever the fuck Huskop's supposed to be, makes the boss not live. Which I will not complain about at all, considering how long other characters take on this boss fight. Then we all escape. Never mind, apparently one of the corns just didn't want to. Fair enough. Next variant is the creamed corn, which Steam Cream Shotgun. Is Steam Cream an actual thing? Apparently it's a brand of skincare products. Okay, evidently not using your own product considering his neck flaps are covered in mold. Anyway, so creamed corn is the chemist. It's just the chemist on a corn. But here's the kicker. If you don't aim properly, you only deal 25 damage. So whilst this might seem like the chemist but worse, creamed corn has a unique property that allows him to just not die. We go to Barry Island. And if this thing didn't have the increased regeneration, then it'd be utterly doo-doo, because it takes like 10 shots to kill a single crown coat. Wave 4 introduces goat amphetamine to a low-income neighborhood, and my god, this elite is obnoxious. Go near it and you get a purple beam attached to you that makes you belligerent and drunk. Also, I think one of the AI throw themselves into the ocean. Great job. Wave 6 and 7 are boring, so I just sit on this rock the whole time whilst the AI just does all the work for me. However, on Wave 8, they try to fight this backup dancer elite, get hit once, and then leave. So I leave my throne to go fraternize with the peasants below. I like how the only thing left of this backup dancer is his shoes. Just got reduced to nothing. Wave 9 heralds the appearance of Ralph, who sits in the corner for a bit before being ganged up on by 4 corns. Wave 10, and what if instead of being called Baron von Betz, he was called Baron von Vetz and added a 20% value-added tax to scrape even more money from the working class? Which, you know, that tax might go to renovating up this sad dump of an island, but sadly, the Baron has spent millions of taxpayer money on ominous purple spheres. There's just so many of them. However, the best course of action when dealing with a corrupt governing official is to carpet bomb it. I like how when he disappears, the other corns get upset and fire rockets at the floor out of anger. Baron von Betz dies and all the corns survive. That's good. Next variant is the Robocob, who corn with homing. Corn that homes in on people. This corn has an aimbot, which sounds horrific. But luckily, if you try and shoot something from more than 3 centimeters away, this happens. Another loads of variants character that could have done with a couple more minutes in the microwave, if you know what I mean. Instead of just dragging him out of the freezer, putting him in said microwave for 1 minute, realizing the microwave's unplugged and just taking him out anyway. He also has more health, so at least he has that going for him. Basically, this is just the normal corn, but you have to think even less. Perfect for a pudding brain like myself. After going to the Colosseum, we discover that Butter Barrage apparently has an electromagnetic field around it that just draws in Robocop's projectiles. How does this even occur? I think this might be the most scuffed variant yet. He also leaves like little orange squares everywhere. We then fittingly encounter Ralph in his natural habitat, presumably having just solemnly took a Roman military ship back from Bodie Island, who was then left to rot on the ground after saving another squash from the horrors of 5 normal ground coats. Champions! Out of all of these champions, the one thing that actually kills me is a brown coat. How embarrassing. Wave 5 spawns that bastard robot and Mel. Wave 7 and we get our daily Ted T Tech appearance. Just on holiday trying to see the beautiful sights of Italy. But sadly, Garden Warfare 2 isn't a game where you are allowed to have fun. So Ted perishes like the rest of them. After carpet bombing a graveyard, we get to Wave 10. For fuck's sake! What if he was called Baron von Twat? Get out my game! You recurring waste of 10 to 15 minutes. After the jankiest Huskop I think I have ever seen in this game, I then perform the same jankiest Huskop I have ever seen. This game would improve dramatically if you could just roundhouse kick Huskopping corns in the jaw. The Baron dies and 2 of my allies decide to just leave the extraction point, so only 2 of them make it out. Fantastic. The next variant is the Lone Husk, also known as Wandering McGee. Surely McGee himself will... He won't. Slow firing sniper corn. It has less health because... We go to frontline flats again. I decide to sit on a shed for literally the entire game and just pick off zombies with my grain enders. Major Missile appears on wave 4. I don't really care though, because I'm just sat up here on my shed, taking in the repugnant stench of frontline flats. I feel like frontline flats would look better with European architecture to really sell how dull this game of Ops was. Yeah, you really showed that hedge, mate. Next time it'll think twice before growing blue flowers. This guy sucks. If you ever think your aim in this game is poor, at least you aren't like Major Miss here. How are you frequently missing shots when you are literally an aimbot? Even my aim is better than this fraud. Wave 5, and looks like Ted's back from his vacation in Rome. This wave goes utterly horrendously, probably because we have 50 less hit points. Didn't know Wandering McGee had severe health defects. Come on, Ted. You gotta have mercy on me. I'm sorry I ruined your trip to Rome. I am starting to lose respect for Ted. Next time it spawns a scientist that pockets a Giga Gargantua, does this thing have fucking projectile penetration? Ah, never mind. The 50 less health is completely justified now. This character is absolutely broken against zombies standing in an orderly queue. Oh my god, he's back again. Anyway, we win. Nothing happens until wave 9, which spams welders, and oh, it's Ralph again. The reason why there's a random ass Centurion elite and barely any for the other vanilla variants is because when Coliseum was red and evil, I was going to make Ralph spawn very frequently. Wave 10, and I'm sorry, go back to Baron Von Bats, this shit's worse. Whilst I'm fighting the triple trooper triad, the sound cuts out. At least it's right at the end. Also, I had to attend to something in real life, so I just sort of had to sit here for a bit. Some things are just more important than playing the same game mode for the 70th time, but it's fine because the Yeti's almost dead. Well, that sucks. That really sucks. Given the very little amount of health the Yeti had left, if I hadn't have just left McGee lifeless in the streets of Zomburbia, he most certainly would have won. So I think it's time for the good old orange question mark. Sorry, McGee, I let you down. Next variant is the Kamikaze Corn. What a name. Not as bad as what the elite version of this variant is called. Yeah, Zombo's gonna tremble in his boots when I hit his zombies with fear-mongering homophobic propaganda. So Kamikaze Corn is literally just Tank Commander but a corn. Like how Tank Commander shoots a shoddily made as the brand ZPG. Kamikaze Corn shoots a dehydrated shuck shot. Homicidal Husks fights the woke at its origin point. Canada. The masses are no match for the Husks' waves and waves of scapegoat tactics. The woke have planted a welfare squash in the middle of Frosty Creek that is stealing all of your taxpayer money. They have also put chemicals in the water that make people glow red. We have to protect the children from this menace, the Husks say, whilst launching explosives at hordes of infants. Homicidal Husks then censors video games from society by bombing it because fuck you, stop playing games, go into the mines right now and mine lithium for me. After taking away an old man's social care payments and reworking some more laws, instead of dealing with the fact that all of his allies have perished, Homicidal Husks rests after an arduous wave 5, only to then see a group of zombies trying to use renewable energy sources. It turns out all of our improvements to Zomburbia have triggered the woke zombies. However, the Husks seem to have finally found it. The king of woke. The Disco Zombie. The Disco Zombie resists our attacks with his anti-Zomburbia DEI shields, but luckily the woke mind virus is eradicated, and Homicidal Husks can rest easy, knowing that they have saved Zomburbia from things that they were told to fear. So Big Dave can take all of their grain for himself. Also, I used the wrong headpiece for Kamikaze Corn, so it looks like he's had his scalp replaced. It's kind of funny. I like how this entire bit is solely because I made a small spelling mistake in 2021. Next variant is the Toxie Corn. The Toxic Orn. It's green. It shoots a big green beam. So that's right, Terry O. Toxins is here. Really had a trifecta of iconic characters. What a delight this must be for you. So the Toxic Orn shoots 2 green beams at once, which not to toot my own horn, but this looks kind of cool actually. So yeah, Toxic variant, big green laser. Toxic brains if he had no upper body strength. We go to Time Park where we camp with the zombies, spawn points and annihilate all of them in seconds. As much of a horrendous map this is to play in multiplayer, Time Park is actually decent in ops because all the enemies just spawn in the middle so you can get through the waves faster. Also a perfume shroom explodes, revealing a plush of the Pickle. How would Noctis and the zombies deal with this threat to their operation? Wave 3 wants me to break vases, but I can't be bothered, so I'm just gonna sit up here watching my allies go in and out of portals aimlessly. Like, what are they doing? Nothing interesting happens on the boss wave. There's this exploding bald man and oh, the CIA's at it again. Actually, one thing of note happens on the boss wave, which is we lose horrifically. Next time spawns Super Overcompensation, who is a bullet brains elite. I was almost worried there for a second. Guess he took offense to that.
What the fuck was that?
By the way, I buffed the shit out of Multi-Shuck, so now it can actually deal damage. Wave 7 and champion! happens. However, the most nothing elite boss spawns and it is all okay. Wave 9 and I burn to death. Wave 10 spawns a Giga Gargantua, which is probably one of the easiest boss waves to get. So there's not really much to say here. I mean, there's these imps with funny sunglasses. That was easier than falling off a log. This franchise has fallen off a log, but at least we have console edition that costs 4 times more than the original. But don't worry, guys, because you can get the Retro P. What a clever reference to the scene in PVZ Plush where a paper cutout parody of Bill Cipher turns pea shooter into perler beads, finally getting the proper representation it deserves. Also, Toxicorn wins. Hooray. Corn's really putting in the work. A lot better results than those bum NPC classes I added. The final variant is the Candy Corn, who firstly, what a vile eyesore. Secondly, Jade Cactus, but on a corn. That's it. It's just corn, but if you miss like a skillless ape, your shot sticks to the ground and blows up after a few seconds. Oh, but you also get a slight speed boost when you get a kill with your primary. So let's see here. Abomination of Cosmetics. Check. Gimmick stolen from a different variant and slapped on another class. Check. Random ass secondary gimmick that has just been applied to it for no reason. Check! This mod is a creative void of ideas. Sandy Sands, my old chum. The only good thing about this corn is that if you land a direct hit, the shot just blows up instantly, so it's basically just a corn with splash damage. Wave 4 spawns the same way with the welders again.
Show me the name.
Good lord, Ralph, just cut it out. This is the 4th time you've shown up today. Get the hint. Rome is dead. The only thing Italy is known for now is pasta and a flaccid tower. Whoa, Ralph, I didn't mean it. I'm just jostling you. Don't be flinging yourself into the Nile like that. Then he just curls up into a ball and cries. What is happening? I feel bad now. I've genuinely upset Ralph. It's okay. You'll get me one day, Ralph. One day. Wave 5 spawns this knob and the job market is rough. If any employer or business owner is watching this, please comment down below and hire me immediately. I might not have many skills, but I have whimsy. Fucking hell, look at that jump. Wave 9 spawns Splash Back Mac, who certainly splashes me back, like, fucking hell. Would not want to be in a public bathroom with this guy on the urinal. Wave 10, and what if instead of Baron von Betz, he was called, I don't know, I don't know, Baron von Metz, and he made Matt, I don't know. I've run out of things to say. This isn't even a challenge, like, at all. I win easily and then escape in the nick of time. So those were all the new corn variants in this mod. We had butter, candy, discrimination, and cream. Massive shout out to all my members. And like and subscribe, or you too will have to fight 4 Baron von Betz super boss waves in real life.